portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Employees of Malia Nassau Beach Resort will be getting outstanding gratuities owed to them since December 24th. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson says the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union have come to an agreement and an announcement is pending. Farquharson says the Minister of Labor intervened and labor officials engaged in discussions with both parties.
Gratuities are expected to be paid. The majority of it is expected to be paid. The hotel is of the view that as these gratuities would greatly assist those employees who are experiencing hardship until the matter is resolved before the courts, which is expected to be resolved within the space of the next 30 days. The hotel has agreed in a creative way to have these gratuities paid to the employees.
The union and officials of the resort have been embroiled in a bitter dispute since the resort stopped billing its all-inclusive customers the automatic 15% gratuity. A Supreme Court trial date had been set for May 1st, at which time the court will rule on whether the resort has the right to make the changes in the face of the collective bargaining agreement. After that trial is settled, Farquharson says any outstanding money will also be paid.
What has to decide which clauses in the collective bargaining agreement applies to the situation. There's a clause that speaks to negotiating a new rate for all-inclusive properties, and there is a clause that deals with new terms and conditions of employment, and that's really what the difference is. Is this a new term and condition of employment? Do we come under that clause as settled by the hotel union, or we do under the clause that's been argued by the hotel?
Could there be flight delays as a result of industrial action by air traffic controllers this holiday weekend? Well, the Department of Civil Aviation has put a contingency plan in place to ensure that air traffic services are not disrupted during this busy period. Those plans have been communicated to the Air Operators Committee, which represents both domestic and international carriers. This comes in response to an apparent threat that was reported in one of the local dailies, which suggests that the Air Traffic Controllers Union's course of action for the Easter holiday weekend would be determined by what the Department of Civil Aviation does today. In an earlier release, aviation officials say they were shocked by this, especially as Union President LaShanne Gray was informed by letter that the Treasury is preparing payments which will be made by next week Tuesday. Air traffic controllers had complained that they had not been receiving holiday pay. However, in December, management agreed to make the necessary payments going forward, and a review was underway. Ministry officials say disrupting air traffic services at this time would only inconvenience the traveling public, and there's no basis for disruptive action. Further, they understand that the possible strike action has created an alarm in the domestic and international aviation sectors, and decisions could be made to divert tourism traffic away from the Bahamas. According to a statement, the economic implications are obvious, and the ministry calls upon the president of the union to act responsibly in the interests of the country. The public is again reminded that a contingency plan is in place to ensure that air traffic services are not disrupted during this busy travel period.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Sia Scatterly. Among the hotels at the soon-to-open Baha Mar here in Nassau will be SLS Lux at Baha Mar, the first outpost of the SLS brand in the region. The hotel includes 300 rooms, including 107 residences, along with a pool and the Clio and Katsua restaurants. In other business news, the Bahamas appears to be taking steps in the right direction to raise its profile as an attractive fund center. It is the first independent country in the region with IOSCO A status and continues to build out the smart fund model template to provide a range of solutions for investment managers. And on the legal structuring side, the sector saw the introduction of the investment condominium, or ICON, designed to appeal specifically to Brazilian investment managers and advisors, as well as Latin American managers. It is intended to target fund-familiar investors looking to diversify. And in international news, Heathrow Airport plans to cut the fee it charges airlines for passengers traveling to other UK destinations by a third beginning next year. The move would reduce the charge from £29.59 to £19.59 in a bid to boost regional connections to Britain's busiest airport. The airport is also proposing raising environmental charges to encourage cleaner, quieter planes. Charges for passengers flying to European destinations will also be cut by £5 to £24.59. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly.
The Junkanoo Carnival season opens in less than a week. Groups have been hard at work putting the final touches on preparations. Jared Higgs has this update from the Carnival Beat.
As we speak, Junkanoo Carnival bands or groups are gearing up for the final month of activities and promotions for the upcoming Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. Bahamas Masqueraders launched their band camp last week at Bahamas Welding and Fire. The group commissioned costume designers David Roll and April Jasmine Burrows to design the lionfish and Bahama parrot costumes. There was a clear contrast, not only between their Bahamian wildlife costumes, but also their backgrounds as artists.
I have designed and made costumes for Junkanoo, so I've had the experience, but I've also always wanted to be deeply involved and intimately involved with the group.
I've never designed a Junkanoo costume. I've always loved craft. I've always had an appreciation for Junkanoo.
So the opportunity to work and partner with other artists and builders in Junkanoo and Carnival was really a great experience.
I think I'm addicted. I'm addicted to Carnival. I'm now addicted to Junkanoo, and I'm looking forward to next year's Junkanoo where I can be a part of a major group.
The Bahamas National Festival Commission hosted a series of link-ups starting a few weeks ago at Montague Beach. The band showcased their costumes at Arawak Key, where Ecstasy Carnival Band and its spokesperson Omar and Brister said they will have a very distinctive theme.
We want the Bahamian people, we want the international community to see exactly what our costumes are all about. We have our Mystic Waters that talks about the beautiful oceans of Atlantis and the city that would have sunk, but we're proud to say sunk within the archipelago of the Bahamas, actually, right off Bimini. We also have Sizzling Sunset and we have Afterglory. All of these themes come from within.
Rake and Scrape advocate Sidney Isaacs has a carnival band as well. It's called Explosion. The Cat Island man says he plans on bringing island culture to the festival.
The only thing you're going to be hearing from Explosion is rake and scrape on the parade. So our models are going to be doing the heel and toe, the mash the roach, the knocking the conch style, and we're going to be bringing it island cultural style.
And of course, the carnival season wouldn't be true without lots of parties to build the anticipation. There was a full house at the Hilton as the rhythm of Visage rocked the revelers. The carnival calendar officially opens on April 6th. Jared Higgs, ZNS News.
So Carnival just a few days away. Well, the Yellow Elder community has been marred by murder and other violent activities in recent times. The negativity has prompted community leaders to come together to host a special event this Easter holiday Monday. Organizer Kent Johnson, also known as Christian Massive, and Samuel Knowles say they hope over time things will get better. Monday's event begins at noon at the Tom Grant Park. If you know, that's right behind A.F. Adley School.
Peacemaker, oh, peacemaker, hey, a peacemaker, oh, hey, peacemaker. Yes, if you hear the name Yellow Elder, it's almost synonymous with violence, and so that's not what we're all about. That happens in every area, but if we don't do anything about it, then it don't make sense complaining.
We have people in Canada right now, probably all over the world, doing great things, but do anyone talk about them? Do they get recognized? If they want to get recognized and they want to know what we're doing in Canada, they need to come. Answer their phone sometime and we call them for help. Not just answer their phone on 911. Because we tired saying them too. We need to see people that we call for help.
Community leader Kelston Hall says the focus will also be on trying to help many young men in the community who may feel like the only solution to their challenges is a life of crime.
We want to try help save them, because when we look at our past, we done been there and done that, and now we trying to bring other young fellas on board, trying to save them from the grave and from the prison. You know what I mean? So anything with it just being positive in the community, I have no problem with it.
Lineup for the concert is amazing. Of course, you know, Christian Massabis can be in the house, Landlord is going to be in the house, Big Bro Blacks, the lady, Miss Regina Watts, Shabak is going to be in the house, Mr. J, that guy that bought you Stop Drinking Rum, them Gospel Boys going to be in the house, Najee Dunn is going to be in the house, we're looking to have Bishop Lawrence rolling now. It's just going to be a crazy, crazy event.
Yesterday, we introduced you to the 12th Bahamas Scout Group and their Easter trip to Eleuthera. The youngsters will have a chance to not only write about their experiences, but have them published internationally. But before the young Fox Hillians set sail, group member Trevon Brown anticipates this unique opportunity.
It's very interesting. We fish, we canoe, we swim. They teach us how to dive. We go to the regattas. And we just explore.
Many of the youngsters making the trip were deeply impacted by the Fox Hill tragedy that claimed the lives of 4 people and injured 7 more in December 2013. Fox Hill community leader Ruben Raming maintains they haven't forgotten.
During our last trip, and it's on my video YouTube page, the kids erected the monument at the entrance to the camp. And it was a time of pride. It's like watching the military do their taps. And they erected a monument to their scout leader, Claude Zeno Davis, who was shot. Our cook, our emerald, our iron chef in the bush, Tunde Davis, is still with us. He was shot. Obviously, you know, we just one shot in the neck. And Tunde is a magician. You give him fire, he could cook anything, anywhere in the bush. Our children were greatly impacted because a number of them also were there during the time of the shooting and the event. But you know what I'm glad of? That we did not allow it to break the trend that children have become accustomed to.